Record. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just updating a few things here.
Mr. Gaffney.
Mr. Hunter, for the last time, just don't get your panties in a wad. I'm going to go over. I got multiple announcements that'll probably address most of your questions. Okay.
Talk to me personally, one-on-one.
Well, I've only got, well, all right. Mr. Velasquez, you joined us, right? Chris?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mick? And Mr. Leopardi. Okay. Welcome. It's Tuesday, April 7th. We've got lots to do today, and I've got lots of announcements. So everybody got a, you're gonna need a writing utensil and either a spiral notebook or loose leaf paper, because there's a lot we're gonna cover. And I'm gonna kind of go over announcements and what the plan is for today and this week, okay? Okay, so let me see tell me if this looks better with the lights on or the lights off. It was on, now they're off. Is off better?
I think on is better because you need to turn it off. There's a glare.
Windows in the back.
All right. So listen closely. All right. I got lots of announcements. There's a lot going on. All right. Remember the Flexi quiz on parallel and perpendicular lines from 3 weeks ago? Most of you took it, but you didn't create an account. So I've got like 8 quizzes in there with no names on it. So there's no way I can, arbitrarily assign grades. So I revised the quiz. It's fairly similar or pretty darn similar to what you did 3 weeks ago. I sent everybody an email this morning with a link to that Flexi quiz. It's, I believe 9 questions. There's a 20-minute time frame on it. It probably shouldn't take you but 10 minutes. But you may want to go back and look at your 4-4 problem set, parallel and perpendicular lines, and take that Flexi quiz. It should take you 10 minutes, maybe. Before you create an account on Flexi quiz, before you take the quiz, and now because we're going to use Flexi quiz periodically the remainder of weeks that we have. So, create an account. The deadline is Wednesday at 9. Okay, deadline's Wednesday at 9. It's got a 20-minute time limit on it, so don't fiddle fart around, but it should only take you 10 minutes. All right, any questions on Flexi quiz? There's an email with the link to the Flexi quiz. I couldn't put it on the board because it's too long and too likely that we probably copy it wrong.
Sir, Josh, can I please log out and come back in? Because it's like glitching for me.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaffney, did you already send the email for the Flexi quiz?
Yes, I did it about an hour ago, so it should be in there somewhere. If you didn't get one, send me an email, because maybe I have the wrong email address for you, and I'll send you the link.
No, I got it. It just came in.
Yeah, that's for everybody. If you didn't get one, when you check later today, make sure you write a note. I got to take a Flexi quiz by tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Shouldn't take you but 10 or 15 minutes. Pretty good on Flexi quiz. All right. I promised you last Thursday the 5-1 quiz on adding and subtracting to solve inequalities. I didn't get.
Can you send me the quiz, sir?
Just be quiet for a second. I'll take your question. I'll just mute you. All right.
That's really making me mad.
That I promised you last week. I put that on Blackboard this morning under assignments, and there's a Dropbox for it.
Even in Blackboard this morning.
So that's on Blackboard. Should take you about 20 minutes. It's not timed. It looks like the quizzes that you've been taking in the classroom for quite some time. All right.
Not in Blackboard.
So just get on Blackboard, take the quiz by tomorrow night at 9 p.m. and put it back in Dropbox.
It's not in Blackboard. No, that should not be the reason why my grade dropped.
Mr. Hunter, can you be quiet?
What?
Just mute yourself. Put yourself on mute.
You're making me mad.
Okay? Or I'm gonna kick you out of the class. I can do that. All right. Blackbot, I spent 77 students in 5 classes. I probably spent 6 hours over the weekend updating Blackbot as current. If you've got any zeros in there, it's stuff that you haven't submitted. Don't put it in Dropbox because some of the people are putting stuff in Dropbox in the wrong Dropboxes, and it's like a scavenger hunt to find it. Okay, so just email me anything that you have zeros for by Friday. Anything that's been due before Easter, I'll take this week. After we come back from Easter, I'm not taking any stuff that was due before Easter. All right, so here's your last chance.
Sir, so there's a flexi quiz and another quiz that we have to take.
That's why I've got bullets here, and hopefully you're taking notes. There's a flexi quiz that's in your email, take. And then in Blackbot, there's the 5-1 quiz. The flexi quiz is on the old parallel and perpendicular because no one set up an account and you just took it, and I've just got 8 or 9 blank flexi quiz completed with no names. The only way I can do that is just have you retake it. There's a new one in there similar to the last one. This one's in your Blackbot assignments, the 5-1 on the stuff we did last week on adding and subtracting to solve inequalities. That's the Blackbot. Just do it by tomorrow night. Between the two of these, if you spend more than 30, max of 40 minutes, you've spent too much time. All right? Check Blackbot behind me. There's 3 or 4 of you that I was waiting on that 4-3 quiz, which was actually the last week the first week that we were out of class and doing it this way. I think it's Mr. Vasquez, Mr. Hughes, and somebody else. So you may have a 0 for the 4-3 quiz. I've got it over here to grade because I had a couple with no names on it. So I'm deciphering that out. So don't worry about the 4-3 quiz that you may have a 0 for until Thursday when I check back in with you. Any questions on kind of old work?
Oh, wait. Well, yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Go ahead.
So for the 5-1 quiz, do you want us to like print it off and send it to you, like through an email?
Yeah, if you can print it off and send it to me. It's in a PDF format because we were having problems anytime there was problems at exponents. By the time you got it, either through Blackbot or through transmissions or iOSs, we were losing some of the exponents. So now I'm putting stuff in PDF format that's supposed to correct that problem. Mr. Hunter, you had a question.
Never mind. I'll just talk to you after class when everybody leaves.
Okay. All right, rep grade. I started rep grades last week. Okay. To get a rep grade on Friday each week, you got to be in both classes on time at the start of class. You get 45 points for each class, right? If you would happen to miss class, I see you, Mr. Martin, just put your hand down. All right, that's 45 minutes or 45 points for each class. If you're either late or you happen to miss class, you can go on YouTube to my channel, and you've got the link that was sent to you about a week and a half ago. You can watch it, all right? You can watch it, do a summary of notes of what the class covered and send it to me, and I'll give you credit for being in class, all right? You get 10 points for checking in the office hours once per week. Office hours are 2 to 2:30. So there's your 45 times 2 is 90 plus the 10 is 100. So that's what you have to do for the new rep grade with the way we're doing things. Okay? Any questions on rep grades?
Wait, so we have to show up to class twice?
We have 2 classes each week, right? Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m.
Yeah. So that's all we have to do?
Yep. Easy stuff. Easy money.
Weekend.
Okay.
April Fools.
Okay. Mr. Martin, you had a question?
My quiz.
What is the, I guess, third bullet point? It says, is that BB?
Blackbot.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Mr. Gaffney,
Mr. Hunter.
I'm checking my quiz right now, but it locked me out. It literally just kicked me out my quiz.
You should be, you're in class right now. Take the quiz outside of class. All right. Okay. in class, they've instituted the schools instituted some policies they want you to follow for various reasons, security reasons, other folks watching these videos. All right, so in class, make sure you got the video on. No black screens, because we've had issues where people are in the class that aren't in the class. You know what I mean? So have your video on. I got 50 minutes with you twice a week, 100 minutes. So be on time at the start of class, all right? No hats, no food, nobody in bed, no hoodies. The username, change your username to Mr. Hunter or Zion Hunter, and not Billy Bob's Crib or anything else that doesn't make sense, all right? Use a username that recognizes yourself.
Okay, how do I do? Oh, okay.
All right, any discussion on the in-class stuff? All right, and then today we're going to start 5-2, problem set number 1, which I believe I've already loaded in Blackboard for you. I may not have, but I may have already.
Sir, wait, how did you change it now?
Mr. Hughes, that broke up. Say it again.
The rep grade, how did you change it? Like, what's different?
Well, the rep grade was in class here, and behavior, interruptions, and disruptions, and all that kind of stuff that's in your syllabus. So you got to be in class both days, each week, because you're in class twice. It's 45 points per class. You got to check in on office hours once per week, just to say hello, I'm doing fine, I'm alive and kicking, I'm getting by. All right, office hours are 2 to 2:30 every day. All right, just come in on this link. And if you miss class or you're late, you can, after the class is over, I upload the class to YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, draft a brief summary of what was covered in class, and send it to me to confirm or validate that you watched it.
Okay.
All right.
My internet keeps on dropping and it kicked me out of the quiz.
Facts.
Well, you shouldn't be taking the quiz during class, so I can't help you there.
Well, I'm logged out of the quiz.
The Flexi quiz.
Yeah.
The Flexi quiz. All right. I think it's a one-shot. The Flexi quiz, you can't go in and out, hop in and out. It's a one-shot deal. All right. All right. Any questions on the announcements? No confusion? Pretty good?
Oh, wait, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What about the section 5-1 quiz? Yesterday's Blackboard assignment.
Yeah, I believe I put it under yesterday's Blackboard assignment. All right.
Okay.
And if not, I'll check right after class. I don't want to try to check now just for the same reason you guys taking the quiz where I could get kicked out. But within 30 minutes when this class is over, if it's not in there, I'll make sure it's in there. The 5-1 quiz, which is what we covered last week, the adding and subtracting to solve inequalities. Any other questions? Any confusion on announcements or anything? Okay, let me, I'm gonna move the card over around. I gotta unplug it, so give me a second, and then we're gonna start 5-2.
Josh,
Mm-hmm.
did we just take notes in Mr. Foley's class yesterday?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Everybody see that? All right. So today we're going to start 5-2. I'll check as soon as I get it off class. You're going to need pen and paper. All right. I'll load this. If it's not already loaded, I'll load the problem set on within 30 minutes after class is over. So write the numbers down because I may skip around a little bit. You'll have those problems done because there's like, I think 14 problems on the problem set. I'm going to collectively and instructionally, we're going to probably do 6 or 7 of them. So you only have about 7 of them to do for homework between now and tomorrow night. So you got 3 things due tomorrow night: the flexi quiz, the remaining 7 problems or so that we don't do here on 5-2, and the 5-1 quiz. All that collectively between now and tomorrow night shouldn't take you, it should be less than an hour, probably in the 35-minute time range. Okay?
Can you send me everything that I missed?
Please.
Send you everything that you missed. What do you mean?
Like the quiz that I missed and if I missed any homework.
For real though.
I got a note here to send you the 4-3 quiz, Mr. Seeley, and why don't you look to see anything else that you're missing and just send me a note and say, hey, resend problem set 5-1 number 2 or whatever it is. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. So Mr. Seeley actually gave you a heads up to this last week in our discussions when we were solving inequalities. And this is kind of probably good review for the quiz. Last week we were adding and subtracting things to solve and isolate for that variable. All right. This week we're going to use multiplication and division. And he had asked a question last week, if I remember correctly, about I've got to multiply or divide to isolate and solve that variable in an inequality. And I multiply or divide by a negative number. He gave you a clue last week that the direction of that inequality is going to reverse. So you just, if to solve it, this is the only thing new or different. To solve an inequality, if I have to multiply or divide by a negative number, not to a negative number, but by a negative number, the direction of that inequality is going to reverse. Does that make sense, or do I need to clarify that anymore? Makes sense? Okay. We got writing utensil and some loose leaf paper or spiral notebook or anything? Pretty good? All right. So the first problem is y over 6. Let me come a little closer so you can, it's a little bigger for you. All right. Y over 6 is less than or equal to 2. All right. Everybody knows how to read the inequalities by now, right? If the smaller side is, as you read left to right, if the smaller side's is the first you come to, it's always going to be less than, right? If the bigger side's open, it's going to be greater than. That's one way you can remember it. You may have some other tricks from your middle school algebra days, middle school math days, and on I think some of the alligators eating something like that. Anybody have any tricks to that? No? All right. So what's the only thing I have to do on number 1 to solve that? Only one process I've got to do.
You have to times by 6 on both sides to get
Multiply
y
by 6 on both sides, right? Because really we're dividing by 6, so now we're going to, as Mr. David said, we're going to multiply by 6. And then one of the properties of equality of equations is the same property for inequalities. What I do to one side, I've got to do to the other. So if I multiply, everybody see that okay?
Sure.
I multiply one side by 6, I got to multiply by others. So the 6 cancels that out. So that now becomes y is less than 2 times 6 is 12, right? So the answer is y is less than or equal to 12. Right? So let's just prove or validate that. So if I go back to the original equation of y over 6 is less than or equal to 2, if I put any number in there greater or less than 12, this will be a true statement. So let's just say, for the sake of easy math, it would be less than 12. So if I replace that y with 6, I have 6 over 6 is less than 2. 6 simplifies to 1. All right. And I end up with 1 is less than or equal to 2. And that's a true statement. So any value less than 12 I plug into here will make this a true statement. Now remember, since this is a solution set, you've got to put in solution set, a handlebar mustache, and it's y such that y is less than or equal to 12. Make sense? Mr. Hunter, you remember the things I gave you as far as the classroom? As far as the
Yes.
Just checking to make sure. Any questions on number one? Any confusion?
Yes,
sir.
Hold on. No, sir.
I gotta go get my computer charger, sir.
Okay. Let me come up a little bit.
Sir, this is for 5-2 problem set 2, right? Or problem-
5-2 problem set number one. 5-2 number
Okay.
one.
I thought we already did that.
Zion, why are you so angry?
I think he's
No, we haven't done that. We're doing it right. We're doing it collectively right now.
Because I woke up pissed.
That's your fault.
Mr. Hunter, remember this is all recorded.
That's you,
We're
Kermit.
watching it. All right.
Sorry, he's talking about me.
All right. Copy this problem down. It's negative. All right. Negative n over 50 is greater than 22. Negative n over 50 is greater than 22.
I solved it.
Now, let's see here. Let me find my notes. All right. So, what do I need to do? What process and what values do I need to do to solve this?
You have to multiply by negative 50 on both sides.
All right, negative 50 on both sides. All right. All right. That does two things. Well, it does three things, right? You're actually killing two birds, one stone. We're getting that negative off the variable n, and we're getting that 50 denominator off that n. All right. So the negative 50 times negative 50 over negative 50 equals what?
Is it negative 1100?
No, what's negative 50 over 50 equal?
It's 1.
1. Anything over itself always equals 1, right? That's why we're multiplying both sides by negative 50. So that equates to 1. That leaves me n on this side. Now we've got the situation that's unique and different for multiplying, dividing negative numbers with inequalities. We do what? We
Flip the side.
change the direction of inequality. So you just reverse the direction. I've got negative 50 times 22, which is, I believe, negative
1100.
100, right? If I did my math right.
You did. You're right.
All right. Now, to show it, because this is a solution set, it's any value less than a negative 1100. It's a solution set. So it's n such that n is less than or equal to negative 1100. Make sense? Everybody good? Questions or confusion?
I see.
I'm going to keep rolling in if hearing no questions. All right, next, problem number 3. Write the numbers down because this will correspond with the problem set that's on black pile. All right, so I've got 3/5 h is greater than or equal to negative 3. So, Mr. Campbell, what am I going to do to solve for h?
Are you going to multiply by 3/5 or divide by 3/5?
No.
All right, so it's a multiplication, so we
Shut
can
up, Josh.
by 3/5. But what's a slightly what's kind of a more expeditious way?
Reciprocal.
Yes,
There
sir.
you
the
go.
reciprocal.
And we do what with that reciprocal, Mr. Davidson?
We multiply it.
Right. So to simplify dividing a fraction by a fraction, Mr. Davidson just told you you can take the reciprocal and actually multiply. So if I multiply this side, the reciprocal of 3/5 is 5/3, right? So if I multiply 5/3 on this side, I've got to multiply 5/3 on the other side, right? So if I multiply this, I end up with 15 over 15, and similar to the last explanation of the previous problem, anything over itself always equals 1. So the h comes down as is. I'm not multiplying by a negative number. but I am multiplying to a negative number, but that does not count. I'm not multiplying by a negative number. So the inequality stays as written. And I've got negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 divided by 3 is what? Negative 5, because that becomes 1, right? So it's h such that h is greater than or equal to negative 5. Make sense? Questions or confusion? Yeah.
We'll go back up to number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, just noting this down.
Mr. Gaffney says I'm missing 4, 4, 2, but I turned that in.
If you've got it there in your notebook, the easiest thing for me,
When I turned it into black box, it says I'm missing it. So I have a 59 in your class.
Yeah, me too, sir. I got a 61.
Why am I? I was at an 80, so I'm not the only one that got a bad grade in the class.
Yeah, I was at like a 9.
Yeah, Zion.
Shut up, Gardner. Who asked?
if there's a 0, no, listen closely. Try to help you out, but if you're just going to holler and scream, I can't help you. All right. In the last 3 weeks, I'm getting maybe a dozen emails today to anywhere from 40 to 80 emails a day. So if you got a 0 for something, go back through your notebook, find that problem set that you have a 0, and shoot it to me in an email. Don't put it in black. Don't put it in Dropbox because I have to go on a scavenger hunt to find it in Dropbox. I'm getting history papers, I'm getting English papers, I'm getting Spanish papers. If you would interrupt me, you'd hear me. Just send me it in an email. I'll take a look at it and I'll add the grade to Blackbot. It's no more complicated than that.
Sir, for the flexi quiz, it says I have a 0 it says I have a 0 for that.
Yeah, my internet dropped.
Bring us down, sir?
Last lucky quiz I had a 0 and I got all of them right.
Now I got
Yeah, Zion.
I got 6 people whining and complaining simultaneously. Now this is the old flexi quiz or the new flexi quiz, Mr. Davidson?
It's the 324, so it's the old flexi quiz.
Yeah, because what happened is everybody took it, but no one registered. So I got 8 flexi quizzes with no names. So create an account or register an account and you'll have it for the next flexi quiz.
Okay, got you.
I got 8 flexi quizzes with no names. Like people took 8 quizzes and turned them in and nobody wrote their name on the paper. That's what I got. All right, Mr. Kelly.
When I was taking my internet like just shut down and I was logged out of it for 10 minutes.
I'll have to take a look at it. You're probably hosed because you only get to take it once.
Yeah, and it gave me, and I had a
time limit on it.
I had 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Sir.
If I can help you out on it, but one-shot deal. So you want to kind of, if I'm going to take a flexi quiz, I don't want to be in class. I don't want to be doing other crap. I want to focus 100% of my attention on the flexi quiz. Sometimes technology is a bear.
Sir.
Any other questions?
Yes. Yes. What is it? So I sent you problem set 2 through email, and I don't know if you got it yet because you put a 0 in there.
If there's a 0 there, the best thing is just send it to me again.
Okay.
What?
Or you can
Wow,
just take
what is
this,
so hard to understand about that?
or you can just take the 0. You know, I'm trying to help you.
I'm not
All right,
talking.
everything, a lot of what we're doing right now is new and different, all right? And we're trying to adjust it accordingly. There's some glitches with the system, all right? Some glitches, you know, both on your end, my end, and in between with the transmissions, and we're trying to make it all work. I'm telling you, I'm giving you some solutions. If you don't like the solutions, don't do it and let the 0 ride. No more complicated than that. All right, number 4. We've got negative p over 6 is less than negative 6. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to give you 90 seconds to calculate it, and then we'll walk you back through. Negative p 6 is less than negative 6.
What's the other word, sir? I mean, the other number?
Negative P over 6 is less than negative 6. Mr. Clark, do you have a video, and Chris, that you can turn on your, thank you. Had issues with people being in class that's not supposed to be there. It's really for your protection, my protection, school's protection. Sorry about that, but again, it's just trying to make the system work with what we got.
Mr. Gaffney,
Yes, sir.
when is the what time is the flexi quiz and the 5-1 quiz going to be in Blackbaud?
The flexi quiz you can access now. All right, you just got by tomorrow night. I'll grade it after the deadline tomorrow night. So hopefully Thursday sometime.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you find the flexi quiz though? Because like if I go on the website and create an account, like how do I find the flexi quiz?
Okay. I sent you an email. Link there. So click. It's a flexi quiz link. It's a big long string of things. Click on that, and then somewhere on upper left part of the page, upper left, it says create an account or register an account or start an account, something along those lines. Do it first before you take the quiz. The time's not going to start until you start taking a quiz.
Okay, got you.
Mr. Gaffney, can I go to the bathroom?
Yes. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, sir.
How did we solve this? Number 4.
Okay, it's times -6 on both sides.
Times -6 on both sides. Anybody disagree with that? What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. Got to be fair, all right? So the 6 over the -6 equates to 1. So I've got P. What happens to the inequality?
It stays the same.
It reverses direction, right? Because I multiplied by a negative number. I got -6 times -6 equals?
Negative 12, no, 36, positive 36.
Positive 36.
Yeah.
Because if I take that 36 and replace that P with it, all right? Or anything greater than 36, all right? The number on this side will be smaller than the number on that side, all right? So if we put in solution set format, we got P such that P is now greater than 36. Question, confusion?
Yes, sir. I got a question. So when we divide negative numbers on both sides, then the inequality switches?
Yeah, whether you're multiplying or dividing, either mechanic by a negative number, the direction of inequality is going to flip direction or reverse direction. Everybody clear on that? That's really the main takeaway in this section. All right, no questions. Let's look at number 5. I'll let you do that one. It's 1/4 n is greater than or equal to 10. 1/4 n is greater than or equal to 10.
Mr. Gaffney,
Yes, sir.
when is the 5-1 quiz due again?
Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, as well as the flexi quiz. You got. I'll go over the announcements one more time at the end of class, just as a refresher.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You got 3 things to do between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow night. All right, while you're there, Mr. Martin, how do I solve this?
You start by, that's number 5. Times, multiply by the reciprocal of 1/4 on both sides.
What is the reciprocal of 1/4?
4/1.
Okay, all right, so we multiply both sides by 4, right? This gives me 4/4, which anything over itself equals 1. So now I've got 1n is greater than or equal to 40. Handlebar, n such that. Questions?
Oh, I have to do the hand. Oh, I don't have to do it this whole time.
Because it's a solution set, right? If this was an equation, we'd have like n is equal to 40. Here, the solution is any number greater than or equal to 40, and that's why we do the n such that n and the handlebar mustache.
Mr. Gaffney, can I go use the restroom real fast?
Yep. All right, we got 2 more problems. And then we'll do a little review and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's see here. Come in a little closer. All right. So negative 2/3 B is less than 1/3. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let you solve it, and then we'll talk about it.
What are you doing down there? Okay.
Okay. So to solve this,
This was tough, sir.
Mr. Steely, what am I gonna do? You may have to unmute yourself, possibly.
Times by the reciprocal.
Okay. But the reciprocal is what?
3/1. No, it's 3/2.
So we're gonna multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is -3/2, right?
Mm-hmm.
We multiply both sides by -3/2. That becomes 6/6, which equates to 1. So now we got B and multiplied by a negative. So we do what? We reverse the direction of the inequality, and I end up with -3/6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I done?
No.
What else do I need to do?
Simplify it.
Okay, so what?
A half.
Yeah, B such that B is greater than or equal to -1/2. Always simplify if you can. Both the numerator and denominator are both divisible by the same number. Do so. Questions on that one? All right, last problem. So when you download the problem set, and I'll load it up, in about 10 or 15 minutes after the class is over, because I have to load this onto YouTube. I think there's 14 problems, so we've done 7, so you only got 7 to do. All right, so last one here. I'm going to just walk you through, because I think we're getting the hang of it. We're going to just multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 3/5, which is 5/3, right? I'm going to point out one key thing. So that becomes 15/15, which equals 1. So we have M. The inequality stays exactly the same because I'm multiplying by a positive, but I am multiplying it to a negative. That has no impact on changing the direction of the inequality. Just because this is a negative does not mean I change the direction. So this, because the 3's cancel out, and I end up with -5/20, which can be simplified to -1/4. So it's M is less than -1/4. And that's it. You download this problem set off of Blackboard. You've done 1 through 7, right? So all you have to do is 7 through 14. That's all you have to show me is 7 through 14. Fair enough? All right, so the takeaway on multiplying and dividing by inequalities, and we're going to finish this section on Thursday, because we've done this same mechanics we used with solving equations. The only difference is if I have to multiply or divide by a negative number, remember to flip the direction of that inequality. Questions?
Yes, sir. You said that we have to do the flexi quiz and finish the 7 problems on this problem set, and you said it was something else.
Yeah, let me kind of do a recap, okay? Because I know I threw a lot on you at the beginning of class. All right, so let me just kind of do a little recap of what you got in store for you for the next couple of days. All right, so take the flexi quiz. There's an email in your email box sent everybody this morning with the link. It's on parallel and perpendicular lines, so you may want to go refresh your memory on that. The only thing you have to remember is parallel lines have identical slopes. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocals. So like the negative reciprocal of 2 is -1/2. The negative reciprocal of 8 is -1/8. The negative reciprocal of -2/3 is a positive 3/2. That's all you need. That was the main takeaway on 4-4. All right, so you got that to do by Wednesday night, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. 20-minute time limit on it. 20-minute time limit. Shouldn't take you but 10 minutes to do. If you just know what I just told you. All right, 5-1 quiz. I think if I haven't loaded it, I'll check it when I get off of here. Give me about 15 minutes or 20 minutes after class. It'll be loaded on yesterday's Blackboard on 4.6. 5-1 quiz, download it, do it, and put it back in Dropbox by 9 p.m. tomorrow night. That's on adding and subtracting inequalities. So this was kind of a good refresher, although we didn't do any adding or subtracting. For adding and subtracting, we don't change the direction of the inequality. Okay. If you got a 0 in there and you said you sent it to me, just resend it. Don't put it in Dropbox, because Dropbox, I'm getting stuff. It's like a scavenger hunt trying to find it on Dropbox. So just send it. If you got a 0, and I'll fix it. All right. You know the rep grades. All right. Come to class. Be on time, everybody. I only got 50 minutes with you. Check in on office hours at least one time per week, and check in every day if you want. Just for a couple minutes, you can ask questions and say hello, and you can hit any other issues that I can help you with. 10 points for that. All right. Be on time. Have your video on. No hats, food. Not laying in your bed. And have a username that's appropriate for you. All right. We did 5-2 number 1 today. Any questions on anything we did today? Anything I can clear up? All right. Give me till like 10:30. I'll make sure that you've already got the email for the Flexi quiz. I'll make sure the 5-1 quiz is in there, and I'll make sure the 5-2 problem set number 1 is in there. Give me till 10:30. It'll all be there. Some of you guys probably have class at 10 o'clock anyway. It'll all be there by 10:30. All right. Anything I can help you with? No questions?
No, we good.
Oh wait, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So it says I have a 0 for quiz grade for the flexi thing. How am I supposed to change that to?
Take this Flexi quiz, and whatever you get in, I'll replace that with this.
All right.
Yep.
Zion, stay in after class so I can.
Can we leave now if we want to?
Okay. Any last minute questions? All right. Mr. Hunter, Mr. Martin, I'll only give you like 30 seconds because this thing is. Give me a few minutes to turn the recording off because I don't want this recorded as part of the class. All right. Don't forget the 3 things you got to do: Flexi quiz, 5-1 quiz, the rest of the problem set from this, and then I will see you on Thursday at 9 a.m. sharp. Okay?
Yeah.
The recording, and then I'm only going to give you a minute or two to talk to Mr. Hunter, okay? Because I got to turn this thing off to record.
Mr. Gaffney.
Mm-hmm.